So welcome back. In this part, we are going to start Firebase authentication. So I'm going to go to my browser, and here you can see that in the left section there is a section. In the left sidebar there is a section named authentication. So I'm going to open that up, and here you can see authenticate and manage users from variety of providers without server-side code. So we are going to start off by setting up the sign-in method. So I'm going to click on it. And let's see, so there's a list of sign-in providers that Google offers right over here. First one is email and password authentication. Then we have Google, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, and anonymous. So it's a good idea to always use anonymous authentication if your app doesn't have user methods, or maybe like a user profile creation or something. So if you use anonymous login, you'll make sure that the what do you call it, your database and another data is not getting accessed directly through any other link or source. So we can discuss that later, but first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to use the email password authentication. So I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to enable that and hit the save button. So that way email and password authentication is enabled. Now we can use email password sign-ins. All right, so there is email templates that you can use for email purpose, like verification email, password reset, and email address change. All right, so I'm just gonna leave that for later parts. I'm gonna go to the go back to the users table. Here is going to be the user list that you will see once the user is signed up. But first of all, let's come back to our Android Studio, and let's create a page where user can register or sign in to our app. All right, so starting off, so this is our activity main. So right now we are going to use it as user registration page, and then once the user is registered, we are going to send it to another page or another activity. And this is just for example, because in later parts we are not going to do this way, because we are going to use the main activity as our profile page instead of register page. So keep that in mind before working on a big project, because this is just basic tutorial. So I'm gonna include an email, all right, and a password field with a little bit of margin, and lastly I'm going to include a button so that user can tap on it to register. All right, so let's open up the properties panel, and I'm going to scroll it a little bit, and first one I'm going to give it an ID of username field. All right, so don't ask. And next one is our password field, obviously, so password. And then this is the button, this is register button. All right, I'm gonna change the hint text. So here all right, so I did one thing wrong, that is username fields, because this is going to be an email field. So once, yeah, email field, and let's add the hint as email, password, whatever. And lastly, let's change the text to sign up. Yeah, so our page is ready, no design, but this is fine for now. I'm gonna start creating instance of these. So first we have edit text, so that is email field. All right, so I'm gonna type it out this way. Then we have another edit text, which is password field, and lastly I have a button. All right, so register button. So let's come down here, and email field equals edit text find viewed by ID, and password field same thing, and lastly we have our register button. All right, so we have created the fields, or you can call it a form. Now one thing you need to do is, let's go to the doc section, so we'll be able to I'm going to go to get started guide. All right, and then let's move down a little bit in here, authentication section, Android, get started. So once it's loaded, it says that you need to add in this auth library, auth Gradle library to your Android Gradle file. So instead, you can go to Tools, Firebase, wait for it to load. Then there is the authentication section. Open it up. Now here, email, password authentication, add Firebase authentication to your app. Add it, accept changes. Now it's gonna run Gradle sync again and may take a little bit of time, so I'm gonna pause it. Yeah, so almost done. Then it says to list auth state, we need to add that, and so many things that we actually can get it from the doc section. So I'm gonna hide it. All right, let's go to the doc section again, and here you can see that first thing they have defined is how to listen to the auth state. Now what exactly is an auth state? Is it determines whether the user is logged in or not. All right, it's actually pretty simple, but can be a tricky when you are using it. So I'm going to move down and let's see what they have provided us. Here you can see that there is the user sign up new users, which is the create users with email and password method. All right, it's pretty simple to do. And again, there is the sign in, email sign in, and user access. So let me just skip it, and we will start typing out our Firebase code in the next part.